Come on.
that.
You could too.
No, I couldn't. I'm very specific.
Very distracted.
Very just yeah.
Well, we could bring in the horse porno. You could watch that while you're.
Yes, good old
Bring in
Kenny
the horse.
Pinion. Yes, naughty Boeing engineer he was.
What makes you scared, man? Because you do everything. Does anything scare you? Where you're like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that.
You know, I don't tend to get.
I know you don't.
Get that.
I've learned that over the years with you.
But I also found out that Mary Roach, who wrote the book about Mars, Packing from Mars, I wrote to her a fan letter. I write fan letters like crazy, but they're not just fan letters like "Go on O&A." I like what you're doing.
Old school fan letters.
Old school, yeah, I do that. And she had been 0G. And she does this whole chapter, which is about fucking in space, where she says the desire to do it is so overwhelming, someone must have done it. But the danger of being caught and how reprimanded you would be, nobody could have done it. So it's completely powerful. And she said when she got on her 0G flight, she said to a guy there, let's just fuck. Let's just do. She was doing the same thing that I was doing.
Should have been on the same flight.
Absolutely. If we were on the same flight, we could have negotiated that deal.
0G fucking going on.
By the second parabola, every astronaut would be breathing piss, shit, vomit, and my cum.
And some cum and vaginal secretions and whatever else comes out of there.
It's the first thing you think about, right? And I'll tell you, just so you know, if you and I are ever in 0G, I'm fucking you.
I'd jerk you off at least out of respect.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about the purpose of life, you know, in a godless universe, is to get good stories.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can beat I jerked off Jim Norton in 0G.
It's not gay if you're in 0G.
No, if there's no gravity, all bets are off.
But I mean, that would be a great
You're doing
story.
it for the story.
Yeah, you jerk each other off, you laugh about it later.
We're all in
And then,
agreement.
you know, and he's got, how many questions have you got? What was it like when you came? How did that feel?
I would never be able to come. You know how awful it would be to fucking collapse and have his hand still on my cock at 2Gs? I can't get your hand off my dick.
I can't lift my hand. I can't lift my hand.
Then you look at each other and go, wow, this is really gay.
My hand is
good one.
stuck. And then we start vomiting.
Yeah. And then we land and they have to pry us apart.
That just sounds like a great
What a great
date.
story, man.
What a good date.
You're right, that is good.
But you mean, you guys, they're starting to do, it's no longer illegal and sneaking around. They'll now do it for like rich guys, do the parabolas in 0G.
I don't know if I have the balls to do it.
I would
You
get
can't,
very
Jimmy?
sick. I would get very, very sick. I'm
I would
very
like to
bad
think
motion
I do,
sickness.
Yeah, well, you get sick, sure, but
Have
it's
you
worth
ever-
it. You're 0G. You're
like,
fucking
Did you ever skydive?
I haven't skydived.
Is that something you're
Skydiving?
scared of?
Sky,
I'm not
skydiving.
scared of it. No, I just
Skydiving.
haven't done it. Haven't. You know, now you do it on someone's back. You know, they do that
Yeah,
to
they
save you from
strap
having
you
to
on and-
save you having to learn anything. You know what I mean?
Did you ever see the video of the
Just
guy who
fall.
jumps out without a parachute, and then they have
Oh,
to, the guy has to jump after him with the parachute?
Yeah.
He's like a stunt guy.
Yeah.
And he jumps out and he just fucking takes a sip of an energy drink and jumps out of the fucking plane.
That's-
and then his guy jumps out after him,
That's some
puts
crazy
the parachute
shit.
on him as they're falling.
That's some crazy
Yeah, they
shit.
do. They do that. There's also something I've heard about, but I haven't seen it, of a guy that jumps out with a camera and forgets his parachute and films the whole.
Oh, shit.
But that description is so
Yeah.
horrible. You got that too?
How do you
Can you
forget?
turn it a little more, Sim?
Oh, is this the guy?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, there. It takes
That
some of an
guy
energy
just-
drink. There it goes.
He's falling with no fucking
His shorts
parachute.
and sunglasses on. This
It's
guy's
like-
rules.
Does he have an erection? Because you know, there's a guy you jerk off.
And he's free falling. This isn't like just jump out and give me the chute.
So now they grab him to put the parachute on.
Imagine if his friends really hated him and they're like, ah, fuck him. Let's just let him go.
Screw you.
How much time do you think
Are
they
they
got
strapping?
to do this?
Oh, so they're tandem strapping them.
Yeah.
I guess they're not.
I think they're raping him.
It really does look like they're.
Can you move that mouse,
Let's
Sam?
fuck.
How much do you want that parachute? Because that's your time to negotiate.
Yeah.
Imagine they go right up to him, they whisper in his ear, "We never liked you. Fuck you."
Yeah, how much?
And
But
then
no,
don't
there's
do
your-
what they were supposed to do.
That is your
That's your time.
negotiation.
That's your time for negotiation.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That ground's getting a lot closer.
I'm going to give you my parachute. There's a few things I'd like to have from you first.
Yeah.
That sure is a pretty mouth.
That's fucked up.
I would be so fucking
The
scared.
thought of jumping out of a plane without a parachute on
That's
your back
trust
like that
right there,
is,
huh?
is amazing.
With a parachute
Yeah,
stinks.
with a parachute would be scary.
You ever watch the footage of Captain, what's his name, Joe, the guy who jumps from 102,000?
From the
hot air
balloon. Yeah, hot air balloon. Listen to me. What is it, fucking Wizard of Oz? His hot air balloon.
Joe
His
Kittinger.
infernal device. Hot air balloon.
Yeah, Joe Kittinger fucking jumped. That's the chilling footage. And he said he didn't feel like he was falling. He's like, I thought I wasn't falling until I looked back and saw the balloon had gained distance because it was so low gravity.
He's just got nothing to base it
on. And when you watch
or?
the helmet cam he had on, it's like, you see the Earth and the space going by. It's great.
God,
yeah, you know, they told me once you've been 0G, your brain knows what it's like to feel 0G. And so when I was flying home, like on a Southwest flight, you know, it was great because we hit a bump. We had turbulence and we hit a bump, and I was sleeping, and I just undid my seatbelt and just pushed. You know, it's so great, and I'm so fucking stupid big. I mean, I'm gigantic. I've been gigantic since I was 6 years old. You know, so the idea of weighing nothing. I mean, me weighing nothing is a bigger deal than you guys weighing nothing.
When did you hit
it was
6?
Just terrific.
When did you hit 6 foot?
Early. You know, when the girls hit 6 foot. I was bigger than my 5th grade teacher.
Wow.
You know, it's just, and you know, people that teach elementary school are counting on all their charges being smaller than
you were
them.
Almost one of those giants.
Yeah,
one of those
you know, the Jewish giant at home in Brooklyn. You know, I was a Diana Arbus movie happening. You know, my whole life was that, and it was just. And the other thing is, my son. You know, my son is 4, and he's the size of a Buick, and he's huge. And you see him go through this thing because he's very articulate. He speaks very well, and he's giant. So people think he's in like 2nd grade. And yet, emotionally, he's a little 4-year-old boy. Oh, no. So you also get treated. And I also remember, and no one talks about the problems with enormous kids in school. But when I was in junior high, you know, and I was bigger than any of you, my best friend was like 5 feet tall, you know, and we would be playing, and strangers would come over, absolute strangers would come over to me and say, hey, what are you doing here with these little kids? Get out of here.
Hey, sir. Yeah.
Get out of here. And I would go, what? I had no idea. And I get to be like 22, and I went, wait a minute. They thought I was trying to fuck those kids.
They thought you were a pedo.
But you have no idea of that.
Did you have like facial hair and stuff?
No, I wasn't that kind
weren't
of.
Weren't able to have a beard?
It wasn't that kind of. It was strictly size. I looked very.
Because a friend of mine was able to grow a full beard in the first year of high school. Full big beard, and
we all had one of those guys.
He was constantly getting thrown out. Like they were just like,
hey,
get out of here. Get out. He's like, no, go here.
Did they recruit you for basketball?
Oh, they tried to do all that stuff, but
I think you weren't an athlete, right?
Guy. Yeah. I'm not a sports guy at all.
They must have been so frustrated. They're like, you know what we could have if you could just throw that stupid ball in a hoopie.
And I was also a juggler. So I was unicycling, juggling, doing all this hand-eye stuff.
Nice, but
the team sports stuff, I just didn't like. And they, you know,
oh, the coaches must have cried themselves asleep every night.
I went out for one basketball thing, you know, and I went out and I was okay, you know, I played a little bit, and I missed a shot, and the coach kind of cuffed me in the side of the head. Hey, what are you doing, Jillette? Just not, you know, I forgive me if I just touched your shoulder, but just kind of cuffed me. And the way I was brought up, I said, did you just hit me? He said, well, no, you should have made that shot. I said, you just fucking hit me. He said, don't use that language here. And I said, it's after school. This is not, I'm not in your class. Fuck you. I'm leaving. And he said, you don't leave. You go out there and prove to us what you can be on the basketball court. I said, I'll prove to you that what I can be is off the basketball court.
Fuck you.
And fuck you. And he said, that language will not be tolerated. I said, we don't have any problem because you go fuck yourself. I get out of here. Everybody's happy. And that was my one day of basketball. And he was my math teacher, algebra teacher.
Oh, shit.
I got 100% on every test the rest of the year and got a D. Oh. He had no qualms at all about punishing me for not playing basketball. And then football season would come along, and they'd say, you know, if you'd cut your hair so you didn't look like a homo, we'd have you on the football team. And I said, well, that's good.
Did you?
I'm not going to cut my hair, and I'm not going to go on your football team.
But I will be a homo.
Right. That's a much better sounding thing. Let me get this straight. Homo, we get to listen to records and get blowjobs. And out there, I get to have other sweaty guys bump into me and knock me down. I'll take the kimono and the Judy Garland records, please. That's an easy choice for me.
Shit. Homo. That's the funniest thing to call someone, too.
Yeah.
You homo.
Well, this is, it's the 70s.
Yeah.
So 70s,
You can't do that now,
You
Pat.
wouldn't say gay.
Not allowed to say all
homo.
that stuff now.
No,
People get very offended.
I was quoting someone saying it to me, of course.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's not what
We
I
don't understand why
almost
people are
great.
offended by dumb words.
I called him a
ridiculous.
motherfucker.
There you go. Bringing it back.
Also, anything you've got to cut your hair to do isn't that good.
No.
I mean, I did
Why?
the locks of love thing, but
That's something,
a
yeah.
tough. Yeah, and it scared me to death. I've had hair down my back forever.
Yeah.
And there we were cutting off my ponytail, and I'm thinking, I mean, she's probably going to die anyway. So I really have to cut off my hair for the. But it was too late then.
Yeah.
It's very hard during a press release to go, yes, we're here because this will be made for wigs for cancer patients.
Yeah.
And, Jesus, it feels nice in my back. Fuck her. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, but they don't have to throw the wig in the casket. If you want to be brutal, she can always leave it to somebody else.
Oh, God.
So now I look
wonder
like
if
a
anyone
Marine.
knows.
Look like a Marine.
Oh, yeah.
You're so
yeah.
short.
I wonder if anybody knows it's, hey, this, by the way, is Penn Jillette's hair.
I think, I think there's not a child that wouldn't run screaming. Okay. First cancer, then chemo, now Penn Jillette's hair.
But I heard he's a homo. Damn it.
Did you guys play sports? You all played sports.
Nah,
right?
I didn't play
I played
any
basketball,
sports.
but I didn't have your height.
Yeah. Well,
That's why it kills me.
I was a pitcher when I played baseball.
I did nothing but
that a
smoke
euphemism?
pot in high
know.
school. That was it. I smoked pot. I regret it. I regretted it until I got this cool gig. But I regretted not doing better in school.
It was amazing.
My grades were. I had great grades. I started smoking pot very late in life. And I had really
late
great
life
grades.
isn't high school, is it?
Well, for smoking weed, a lot of people start in like junior high and shit.
You always had the stoners in junior high.
But I was like great in junior high, even into high school. But then, like my last 2 years of high school, I started smoking pot, and what you could graph this and just watch like wham, fell off the face of the earth. I didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to go to class. Didn't understand how my friends were graduating. Because they were cutting class too, but they would cut one class and I'd see them, but then I'd see the other guy from the other class, and I didn't understand they were going to their other classes. I was the one that saw everyone because I wasn't going to any class.
And would you have been texting too?
I would have been if I could have had a cell phone back then, but no cell phones. I'd have to pass notes. We had to pass notes.
Pass notes.
Yeah, we had to pass notes. Or you'd get into desk wars, which was like texting or emailing, where you'd be whoever sits here at third period